So you guys know that your boy is definitely going to be talking about this early winter campaign and why you should not be summoning on this banner. You guys had to already know that it's the boys ETL. Anytime they put out one of these weird mishmash banners, you know that I'm going to be coming down here being like, all right, you can't summon on this banner. It's not good value. I mean, you can summon on it, but like your dad, I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm going to be staring down at you being like, come on, bro. Like, did you really just summon on the cringe banner? But before we begin, if you guys enjoy daily FGO content, make sure you click that like button and you click that subscribe button. Your boy is on the road to 100K and every little bit is going to be helpful. You can also go ahead and click that join button if you want to become a channel member and gain access to some bonus content. I think the first few videos for bonus content is actually going to be coming out very soon because the Gouda Gouda 5 challenge quest should be opening up rather soon here, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then finally, I have a Twitch, and your last plug, I'm not seeing enough of you guys out there, so I stream during the weekdays, right? Basically, Tuesdays and Thursdays are iffy. Sometimes I summon on those. Those are my busy class days, but, you know, come out to the Twitch, come watch your boy play some FGO, get those tips, those tricks, those interactions if you just are starving for content, right? Just come out to the Twitch. But with all that being said, it's time to dookie all over this campaign. Now, let me just go ahead and say, this is one of the good parts about playing on the global version. You do gain access to these nice, just little events that are sprinkled in here and there that are little, like, exclusive events. These are always just really nice to get on the global version, where they're like, let's just throw them a little bone or two, just a crumb of additional content. Now, like... I kind of wish they would start making these event craft essences a little bit better. I get they're really just here for the art, and they're like, we need a way to give the NA players these craft essences that we gave out for, like, special promotional events on JP. We need to, like, fidget it in here somewhere, but, like, I kind of wish they'd start making these a little bit better. But just a little announcement for everybody: log in every single day, get your 10 Saint Quartz, get your apples. Not really going to be any, like, super grindy events at the very end of the year that you really need to get them for, except, psych, you have Christmas coming up, so make sure you get all of these apples, because you're going to want to be rolling on those lottery boxes like an absolute madman. So, psych, I tricked you, I lulled you into a false sense of security, but no, not only do we have Christmas Rerun, which will have just a few limited lottery for you to roll on, but then we have the real Christmas event. So get these apples. They're going to be very, very important for you, especially if you're a new player, because you want to hit that lottery super hard. Then, again, make sure you get these 10 Saint Quartz if you're someone that's going to be going for a Stalfo Saber, Super Orion, or Yang, or the just crazy end of the year, New Year banner, whatever you want to call it. If you want to get any of those servants, make sure you get these 10 Saint Quartz. It might just be the difference between you getting the servant and not getting the servant. So, I guess also a little announcement, yeah, if you missed Arthur's outfit, you can get it there. But more importantly, the banner. This is probably what everybody wants me to talk about. They're going to be like, should we summon on this banner? It came out of nowhere. We didn't know. Don't summon on this banner, all right? Don't be a dummy, okay? All right. Arthur's not bad. Like, tomorrow, I'll probably make a video on Arthur. I'll probably do a video on Ozzy. I'll probably take this time and make a video on Paracelsus as well, because he's actually really, really good. And, you know, I don't think I actually have a video just solo on Paracelsus, and I think I do need to make one because he's just that good. But then, like, you know, like, come on, he's like a 3-star. You probably already have him NP5, and if you don't, it's probably because you just started the game. But these two aren't exactly cracked enough where I could recommend that you summon for them. Now, Ozymandias on JP is a completely different story, and if we pull up Ozymandias right here, he has a few buffs that he does not have on the global version yet that actually do make him just really crazy. So, for instance, he has the Star Refund skill and the crit damage skill here, and then he got an NP upgrade down here that essentially, like, kind of lets him loop a lot of his skills. It gives him really good synergy with a lot of his skills, with the length of getting the Sunlight Battlefield and then being able to reduce his skill cooldown. So then it just makes Ozzy just, like, this absolute powerhouse, like, pseudo support / DPS servant. It makes him really good in the future, but I'm not going to tell you to summon for a servant that's going to be good in, like, 2 years once they have all of their buffs together. It's going to be, you know, the first buff is the skill buff. That definitely helps him out a little bit, but then when he gets the NP buff, that's when Ozzy, like, he becomes, whoa, like, this is a really premium good servant, right? So he's solid right now, but not good enough that I would recommend you to summon for him. And then Arthur, again, I'm going to be doing a video on him tomorrow, but Arthur's a very tame servant, right? Like, he doesn't do the most damage out of all of the AoE sabers, but he has a pretty decent gimmick with the additional damage against super large enemies. It's a 20% battery, which isn't quite as good as, like, say, Artoria's battery, but it's still a battery nonetheless. And it actually, if you're going to use Koyenskaya to clear wave 1, it actually does allow him to loop waves 2 and 3. And I mean, again, like, if you're not using Koyenskaya as NP, then you ain't Buster farming, are you, buddy? Which, I mean, her having a damaging NP is kind of for that purpose. For the servants that don't have the 50% battery, it's supposed to allow you to just loop the last 2 nodes with the Buster servant of choice, and then Koyenskaya defeats the really weak wave 1, right? So that's kind of the purpose of her having a damaging NP. But it does kind of make Arthur pretty good, because having the super large buff is pretty good for waves 2 and 3, because you will encounter like really big enemies typically on those 2 nodes. So it is like a decent niche, and then that battery is going to allow him to pull that off. You do also need to plug suit in like a waiver or a range, so it's a little costly to do so, but in those team comps, he's definitely going to be like a really good solid choice to pick. He's got a decent crit skill where he's getting like 50% crit damage for 3 turns. You know, he's dropping some stars for himself. He gets an upgrade to his mana burst, which doesn't really change the damage of the mana burst, but it like slaps on some NP gain buff, which is supposed to kind of help him in longer fights if you want to use Arthur as your main DPS. But he's kind of in the position that Ozzy was in when Ozzy got his first skill buff. Ozzy, when he got his first skill buff, was in that position of he needs one more piece to make him really crazy. So Ozzy's pretty much already there, but Arthur, we're still waiting for that next buff. I don't know what it's going to be, but just know that even if he got it tomorrow on JP, it would be 2 years before Arthur gets that buff at the bare minimum on the NA version. So you would really be summoning for Arthur if you just like really liked him, which I understand people do like Arthur. He's pretty chatty, he's pretty cool, but if you don't really like Arthur, and if you could hold out for Ozymandias, I would just wait for the both of them, because sure, you can get some use out of them, but they would really be more of investments. And, you know, I'm not going to recommend people to summon as an investment unless it's going to be someone like Space Ishtar. Space Ishtar, she comes back, you know, next year, like around like New Year's, around that time. And, you know, it's like, if you want to go ahead and summon for her now because she's going to be super meta next year when Castoria comes out, absolutely fine. But just know that that's when she's going to be meta after Castoria comes out. You're not going to use her a ton right now. Like, you're kind of having to brute force her way to do, because I know I'm going to say that and people would be like, no, I use Space Ishtar for every node. But I'm like, yeah, but like, you're not using her to like the quote unquote true meta potential that she has right now on the JP version, right? So it's like that's one of the investments I'll recommend, because she's still super meta in JP. So that means you're going to have like 2+ years on JP of her being a super meta servant and going to be like the main servant you build all of your team comps around. I don't think Ozzy and Arthur are quite that good. I think Ozzy is just really good. He's a very solid single target Buster Rider, and you would definitely bring him just to general team comps, to generally just any boss fight, and he'll do pretty well. And then Arthur needs a little bit of help before he can be that crazy AoE saver. So don't summon on this banner. That being said, expect some videos on Arthur and Ozymandias talking about why they will be good in the future and how good they are currently in the meta in the following days. But with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm sure people in the comments will let me know if they're going to be summoning on this banner. So just go ahead and let me know. Just comment down below being like, I spent 8,000 Saint Quartz trying to get Ozymandias, and I'm going to be like, bro, those could have been multis for Super Orion. Could have been some multis for Astolfo Saber. Could have been some multis for Yang, Gilgamesh, you know, some of the good servants that are coming out for New Year's. But, you know, you do you, buddy. At the end of the day, play the game for your enjoyment. I'm just giving you some, like, meta knowledge and whatnot. But, yeah, you guys have yourselves a nice day. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Peace. Late, guys.